43 years ago this thing started, and what a wild adventure it's been.
I'm a Tron superfan. It captured my imagination and showed me a world I never imagined before.
It was so groundbreaking and ahead of its time.
It really is such an honor to be part of such a legacy.
You are a user, and everything you've done has been according to a plan, right?
You wish.
In many ways, it's a masterpiece, really pushing the boundaries in technology and concept.
Started off with a big bang. Having done 3 Trons now, seeing the difference from the original to Tron ARES has been just phenomenal.
When you do a sequel, it's important to create something new, but something that also feels familiar.
The thing that was most prevalent when I first took on this project was the grids. We have 3 distinct grids in this movie, all very different and unique from one another, and color plays a lot into that.
Our master control.
We wanted to break into some primary tones, and we've never done a red world, so the Dillinger grid intrinsically kind of felt like it was going to go red from the beginning, whether it was costumes, tone, feel. NCOM, we wanted a complement to that. I like to call them these Aston Martin silver greens, which I loved, and that was the through line for what the NCOM grid was.
We have a big scene that's where he's going to be transferred into the Flynn grid, as we call it.
The 80s.
And it's such a whiff of the 80s. It's amazing.
Classic.
And action.
We always knew that Jeff Bridges had to be in this. You work years making a movie, and I never feel safe until I see the person in front of my camera. You know?
It is such an open space, you know. Everything's allowed, so your imagination is really called forth. And we just like play around, we'll do some kind of future stuff, and, you know, let's hang out. That was the kind of the vibe. It was very casual, even though there was some very serious stuff going on. He created a wonderful atmosphere for us to play in.
Jeff Bridges is just such a naturalistic actor, but he isn't just showing up and winging it. He really got back into the character of Flynn to do this role.
For those of us out there that are Jeff Bridges fans, he's an example of like a great human being, an incredible actor. He's fun, he's funny, he's easy to love. So every second I had with him on the set was sacred.
It was such a privilege to have him. And the moment he opens his mouth in front of the camera, he's Kevin Flynn. You know, Flynn lives.
Classic humor, man. Haven't heard a joke in a while. Don't think ever from a program.
With the light suits, we wanted to move things forward and honor what had come before, but have something new to say.
It had to be a nod to the previous Tron movies, but it also had to feel like it could exist in our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to meet ARES.
Think of the first movie, it was a combination of like lacrosse helmets and spandex and bits and pieces, but still really inventive because they did so much with so little. Fast forward to Tron ARES, we have these highly technical suits that are all lit up.
All of the suits are made up from multiple strands of this running behind these colored diffuser components. Every suit has its own DMX board, so on set they can actually color adjust between this component and the legs. The disc is on a separate channel, helmets are all separate, and each individual suit has its own addressable channel, so everything can be fine-tuned to get the right balance.
When you wear that suit, you can't help but be transported. It feels like you're in the grid.
You are Dillinger Corporation Security Software.
You're this creature with armor and lights everywhere and disc on the back. So I loved the suit. It was very heavy, but worth it.
You know, it's not easy to wear those suits. I thought I was training to do the stunts, but really I was training to wear the suit. Because the restriction on your body is quite interesting.
There's a lot of the character in this. Makes you walk a certain way, feel a certain way. Badass.
Action!
The Honda Civic 2.0 4-cylinder, 138 horsepower. Classic.
Hey, that's my car!
ARES is basically artificial intelligence, and it was really fun because it was limitless.
What did it for me was the concept of the assets are coming into the real world. That I hadn't seen before.
I think that very much matches the reality we live in now. The lines between the real world and the virtual world are blurring.
Oh my God!
Light cycles are so iconic, and those scenes are, I think, a lot of people's favorite scenes.
Well, light cycles, you know, they have a certain place in kind of movie lore, vehicle history. And Sid Mead designed the original one. We knew we were going to do a Dillinger version of it, which gave us the license to really take it into a different direction.
We built them. We built a couple of them. And then we had what we call proxy bikes. We had like a dozen electric Harley-Davidsons to match the profile of the light cycle.
And I love that there is still a large investment in practical effects. Driving through downtown Vancouver on these computerized bikes, that was really, really cool.
Jump Jet was meant to be kind of a cross between like an F-16 fighter jet and a flying wingsuit. Light skimmer was a watercraft. If you had to kind of put it in a lane, it would be in a lane of a jet ski.
Light skimmer. It's basically my homage to Return of the Jedi. Speed bikes going through the redwoods, basically.
When you make a movie like this, a lot of time is green screen or blue screen, and it's not really there. They do it in post, but on this film, they built a lot. The care and the effort, the work that was put into building these sets by these groups of craftspeople was just incredible.
You feel both just this magnitude and size, but also it feels incredibly real and tactile because they've worried about every last detail.
Can I trust you?
That's a complicated question. How much time you got?
60 seconds.
Doing action sequences with so many vehicles and creating that kind of world building that we do on the grid, it's extremely complex. I just wanted to shoot as much as possible reel for reel in camera.
Today we're gonna shoot an action sequence where ARES turns on the light wall and splits a cop car in two.
We've got the car already pre-cut all the way down the middle. We got power on both sides. We have steering control on both sides. So it'll split into two pieces, and then on cue, they'll kind of turn them in and they'll flop onto their sides and then skid down the road to a stop.
We had an incredible stunt team, but we did a lot of stuff on our own. I got to wear a wire. I was dropped from the top of a building.
I am a Jodie Turner-Smith superfan, and she did all her own stunts in this movie, which not many actors do.
Sometimes you get cast to play an absolute badass and nobody wants to let you actually do that. But, you know, they really let me play on this.
There are these scenes where I am genuinely terrified of Jodie. Track star turns out running after me.
You don't need no trainer. I love the stuff when I crash into the NCOM offices. I get to kind of have my Terminator moment, you know, with my big laser.
We're on the 61st floor NCOM offices, and Athena arrives outside. We've got a big rig. This is shaped like the jump jet that she's in, and so she's gonna fly through the glass in the back of the building there, through the boardroom, through the beginning of the office, and land in the middle of these tables over here. This is one take, so we've tested this rig. We've got a track set up with a ratchet that pulls the bird down the track. And so the ratchet's gonna pull it in at about 50 kilometers an hour. The rig weighs about 3,000 pounds.
Not only do we have Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who arguably are the best movie composers of our time, and then to hear that this is the first time they're gonna compose within the canon of 9-inch nails. There's nothing cooler than that.
9-Inch Nails, obviously legends. They're interested in technology and breaking the mold.
I knew this as I was shooting that they were going to do the music, so I listened to them just to get into the groove.
Cut.
Cutting.
So that helped us to try to distinguish this film from the other film.
Ready? Hope you are, man, because there's no going back.
Being on the light cycle, looking at the recognizers, the light skimmers, and looking out over the grid, all of that stuff is powerful and a real joy to be a part of. Well, here goes nothing.
Or here goes something.
I think if I could take away one thing from this experience, it would be that absolutely amazing connection that I have, that young kid that I once was, sitting in that theater, watching this movie, being transported to another time, another place, and then to be here and working with Jeff and this incredible cast. I would point to that as being the kind of definitive, yeah, dreams are possible.
So where are you gonna go?
I have some ideas.
That's a wrap. Somebody's wrap. Thank you.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.